Hello, hey, how are you doing? My name is Aisha, and I'm so excited that you have joined us for another rendition of Your Pathway. Your Pathway is a group session and a program brought to you by Mercy, Minority Recovery Collective, Inc. If you're here, I want you to take a moment to leave us a nice comment, leave your responses in the comment section. Make sure you keep it nice, make sure you keep it classy, respectful. But also make sure you subscribe and share with someone. That way, we're sharing and spreading healing all across to our people in our community. Let's get started. So, as always, we welcome you so much, and we're so excited for you to be in this space with me. Of course, we're glad that you've joined us and that this is a safe space. While you're here, I want you to know that you can either listen to this by yourself or as a group. So, if this is a group of folks, hey guys, hey. Now, over at Mercy, we believe in letting you know what's going to happen before it happens. So, we're going to do a check in, intentions, that's just setting our ground rules. We'll do an affirmation mantra, guided meditation. We'll then do a guided discussion. And, like I said earlier, if you're doing this as a group, you might need to take a break. So, there is a break included in, in this session. Then we'll leave it to an open discussion, and then we'll leave off with our farewell mantra as well as announcements. So, because I don't believe in hold nobody, we're going to get through this as quickly, as efficiently as we possibly can. These are our intentions. At the base of it, it means to be respectful of all pathways, all journeys. Not everybody's journey to recovery is going to look the same, and what might work for me might not work for you, and that's okay. However, we're going to be respectful to each other, and we're going to lead with listening and love. So I'm going to read the affirming mantra one time to honor those who don't have the ability to read, and then we can read it together. So the affirming mantra is, I feel safe in this space. I give myself permission to feel, to be vulnerable, and to be my most authentic self. Now you can either read that to yourself or say it aloud with me on the count of 3, 2, 1. I feel safe in this space. I give myself permission to feel, to be vulnerable, and to be my most authentic self. Amazing. So let's check in with each other. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Like, no, seriously, how are you doing? Does our knees ache? Are our joints a little, do we feel like there's sunshine on our brain? Has the kids been running you rampant? Let's check in. Let's take this moment to just check in with each other. And remember, it is important that we be authentic. So if you're by yourself, let's be honest. What's your personal temperature like? What's your emotional temperature? Thank you for taking the time. And if you need more time, feel free to pause this. So now we're going to get into our guided meditation. Before we go all the way in, let's get into a comfortable position. If you're seated, having your feet firmly on the ground, nothing on you crossed. If you're laying down, that your head, neck, and back are all comfortably supported. If you're driving, that your hips are aligned with the seat. And if you have it and have the ability, Go ahead and close your eyes when you're ready. Now, today we're going to do one of my favorite breathing methods, which is the box. It's where we breathe in for 4, we hold for 4, and then we release. Let's begin. Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. Amazing, guys. We're going to do that 3 more times. You ready? Breathe in through your nose like you're smelling a rose. 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath. 2, 3, 4. Release it out your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in through your nose like you're smelling some cake. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Release through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Lastly, breathe in through your nose like you're smelling some wonderful greens and cornbread. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. As you let your breath come back to normal, let's take a moment and pay attention to how it comes in through our nose and up to our mind. Let's take note of how it feels for the breath to circulate around our mind and for that breath to be exhaled through our mouth. Breathing in through our nose, breathing in life to our thoughts, letting that breath touch our mind in the places where we sometimes forget, to the areas of our mind and our thoughts that we sometimes neglect. And releasing that breath out of our minds, out of our mouth. On these next couple breaths in, let it circulate around your mind. Let it touch the thoughts that are a bit more vulnerable, the ones that you don't share with others, the ones that need a bit of life, a bit of love. And on the exhale, let all those things that have not been serving you, the things that you've kept to yourself, let them exit out with their breath out of your mouth. Now, when you're ready, if you've had your eyes closed, let them slowly flutter open. Allow yourself to come back to what is happening around you now. Thank you for taking that time with me to meditate. So let's now turn our attention to our discussion, our guided discussion. This month's topic is all about intellectual well being. The couple of topics that I will be pulling from are all going to come from the 9 dimensions of wellness and well being. I'll try to make sure to send you all or show you a copy of the circle so that you know exactly where we're coming from. But yeah, this month I'm going to focus all on intellectual well being. And today's session will be on lessons learned. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, it's been this particular video. It's the beginning of the year. Excuse me. It's the beginning of the year. It's January. It's like the first real week has gone by in the Gregorian calendar because some of us in the diaspora we believe in the new year hits in April, and some of us believe that the new year is January 1st. So when we think about the first week, when we think about January, we're thinking about what did we learn over the past year? What is going on now? What are we doing differently now? So my first question to really ask you is what did you learn over this week? What did you learn over the week? Was it a new recipe? Was it an existential situation? Did you learn maybe something that one of your family members or your partner likes that you didn't know before, or heard a story about somebody that you didn't know before? But what did you learn over the week? So, kind of piggybacking with that one, since we just talked about something you learned, how do you know something is a lesson? There's a lot of things that we get told, there's a lot of things that we see. We take in a million stimuli every day. So, how do you know the difference between, mundane, regular, this is just the process of life, or that this is a lesson that I need to learn? How do you know that something is a lesson? And remember, you can always put your responses down in the comments section. Let's have a conversation. Let me know what you're thinking. And last, but certainly not least, how do you know what not to hold on to? I know at the beginning of this video, I talked about that, sometimes everybody has a different pathway of recovery. And what works for you might not work for me. So, how do I know to hold on to a lesson or hold on to something that I've been taught? And how do I know when not to? How do I know how to let this go? How do you know when to let this go? Learn me something. Now, for those who are doing this as a group, this is your space to take a pause. Take a 10-minute break. Bathroom, snacks, wash your hands, get some water. I know that talking can definitely, and sharing our feelings can definitely raise up the thirst. So stop and get you something to drink, get you some water. Now let's dig a little deeper. Let's dig deeper. Most of these questions have been about lessons and lessons learned, and how do we know that we're learning lessons? So, as a bigger question, and maybe one that'll get a big discussion going, is if you could share a lesson learned with someone 10 years younger than you, what would you share? And if you're in a group and this question doesn't spark a conversation, feel free to talk about something else that's going on. Um, we are huge on being relevant and being efficient. Also, if something that someone says sparks you to have another thought, allow the conversation to just flow wherever it goes. But to dig deeper, if you could share a lesson learned with someone 10 years younger than you, what would you share? I think my favorite one is that life is a game show where the points are all made up, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Uh, but in all seriousness, I believe that in that piece that I would tell someone 10 years younger than me that yes, you should take life serious. You should be serious about some things, but don't take it or other people too seriously. Don't let anything hit your heart too hard because there's folks who love you today who may hate you tomorrow. There's people who hate you today and may love you tomorrow. Um, other people, yeah, I believe I said love you today, hate you tomorrow, hate you today, and love you tomorrow. Um, you also find out that there's some things that you are really strung, holding on to. Um, that sometimes it's you learn down the line that this isn't as serious as I need to take it. Um, yeah, that's what I would share. So let's reflect and reconnect. Yes, there's homework over here. I want you to think about, if you haven't, what is a lesson that you would like to learn for this year? What's something that you want to grow into, grow out of? What is something that you want to be able to say, I learned that lesson when the year is over? So, really quick, really simple on the homework assignment. Now, for you out there who love to write, who love a good journal prompt, we got you. We got some journal prompts out there, about 3 of them. You can pause this video and be able to do them on your own. As always, you can put them down in the comment section what your answers were to these prompts. If you want to send me a picture of your doodle, I would love that. And of course, that's all, folks. If you were in a group or if you're by yourself, you can kind of take a moment and think about 1 or 2 things that you would take away from today's session. Is there something that you learned? Something you want to grow through? Is there something that someone else said that maybe you hadn't thought about, but you think you're going to use it to keep in your book bag? This is the space just for that. Now I'm going to go onward to our farewell mantra. We believe that whenever I open a space, that I also must close this space. It helps me recognize that when I'm here, when I've created safe spaces, that my whole day hasn't gone left just because one thing may go awry or 2 things may go awry. It helps to make one moment, one time of the day where I was good. We were good. So, as always, I'm going to read it one time and then we can read it together. So, the farewell mantra is I've released what I needed to, and I leave it here. I am lighter than when I entered this space. I am at peace. Now you can either say it silently or read it out loud with me on the count of 3, 2, 1. I have released what I needed to, and I leave it here. I am lighter than when I entered this space. I am at peace. Wonderful. Announcements. As always, you guys can go to www.wearemercy. That's WEAREMRCI.org. Go to our events page to keep up with the events that we have coming up. We also have our shop. If you would like to become a member of Mercy or donate to our cause, you can also do that from that page. But that's it. Thank you all for sharing the space with us today. I really appreciate it. When in my space, I tell people that time is not free, and you spending it freely with me, it really means the world to me. So I appreciate it. I see you. I love you. And I hope to catch you next time. Peace and mercy.